Okay, so today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about communicating science when not for the individual. I know Katie talked to you more about your individual accounts, but I'm going to talk about how when you're working for a company or a center or you're publishing your research, how to communicate that. So about me, I recently graduated from UD. I majored in political science with minors in journalism and international business and economics. Then I started working for the Center for Experimental and Applied Economics. And when I started there, a lot like Alex, I didn't really know a lot of the language. I wasn't familiar with it because I'm not a scientist or an economist. So when I was tasked with tweeting or writing about our research, it was sometimes challenging to get to that right level of understanding. And next fall, I'll be starting at GW Law School in DC, where I hope to study international human rights law. Okay, next slide. Okay, so if you just click that link, this is how this is how the center would come up with content. So right now we're a little backed up on some of our researcher spotlights just with COVID. Some things are going on, but at the bottom you can see we would plan our content ahead of time and try to come up with topics and populate our Twitter as much as best we could, so we knew future stories that we had to plan and we could reach out to people. And so we weren't falling behind on topics or tweeting a bunch of things at once and then not having any content later in the week. So that's what I did for the CEAE. Go back to the. Okay. And then next, I know Hannah talked a little bit about brand compliance with your social media accounts. So this is what I know a lot of you are Project WiCCED interns. So if you're ever putting something out that's Project WiCCED related and you want to use a certain color scheme or come up with some graphics, these are the typical colors that we use. It's nothing that's too flashy that will distract you from the research or anything too busy. And this is the way we keep it all kind of looking similar. So when I was talking earlier about not really knowing how to communicate science when I didn't really understand what I was reading, a lot of what Alex said earlier, just kind of simplifying it and understanding who your audience is. And a lot of the things that we want to get across with our Twitter account is highlighting our research. So whenever someone would publish a new paper, we would try to talk about it. And one of the things I did in the beginning was I would kind of lead without giving away too much of the research. So I would say something like, find out what Kent Messer and Mike Kaczynski are talking about with willingness to pay for ecosystem services. And instead of kind of leading and not giving away, like I was kind of burying the lead. So you do want to share a little bit about what's actually going on in the research without giving it all away. Okay, next slide. So this goes along with brand compliance, but also being consistent with your posts. So these researcher spotlights, we would put one out every Friday. And these were also created using Canva. I know everyone's been talking a lot about that. So it is a great place to come up with your content and make things look nice. But with something like this, you're able to highlight the people that work with you and also have some consistent plan. So the people that follow us knew every Friday there's going to be a new researcher spotlight. And the people that worked with us knew that we would be asking them for researcher spotlights. So that was a really easy way to populate our feed and share what's so great about our research team. Okay, next slide. Oh, and one more thing, Hootsuite, I know it said it in the bottom corner. That's a great way to, Hootsuite is basically an app where you can plan your content ahead of time and it will tweet it out or publish it at the time you said. So maybe you don't want to be tweeting on a Saturday or writing on a Saturday. but you want your post to go out there and you want people to see it so it's timely. Hootsuite allows you to plan it ahead, so it'll just publish it for you on that Saturday at the time that you ask it to. But you can write it on Wednesday while you're at work. And then this next link is another thing that I like to do on our page. So this was a thread about, it was, I think, International Women in Science Week. So we were highlighting all of the different female researchers that work for us. And it was all in one long thread so that things stayed in the same place. So people weren't clicking from tweet to tweet to see all the different people we highlighted. And I think it goes up pretty far. We ended up highlighting I think maybe 30 different women. I think we may have lost it a little bit, but that's okay. Anyway, a tweet thread is a great way to start a discussion so that people can reply back to things, but all stay in the same area. And I think that may have been all I have for you guys today.